Mirra Andreeva stepped into the spotlight of Roland Garros, not just to play a tennis match, but to navigate a battlefield of emotions, noise, and pressure. Across the net stood Lois Boisson, France's last hope, and surrounding them, an electrified Parisian crowd ready to roar with every point won by their hometown heroine. From the very start of the tournament, Andreeva had played like a woman possessed. Each match had been a showcase of her rising power and pinpoint precision. She hadn't dropped a single set. She hadn't flinched. She walked into the quarterfinals looking untouchable, but that day, the noise was different. It was louder. It was personal. The match began with intensity thick in the air. Andreeva took control early. Her returns were crisp, her movement fluid, and her serves untouchable. She went ahead, showing Boisson that she wasn't intimidated. She created set points. She came within inches of closing the door. But Boisson refused to fold. Backed by the voices of thousands, the Frenchwoman dug deep. Every point she won came with a wave of cheers. Andreeva's errors were cheered like winners. The crowd wasn't just present, they were participating. It wasn't just Boisson across the net. It was all of Paris. Andreeva had chances. She created opportunities. She attacked the Boisson second serve. But when the big moments came, she blinked. The first set slipped away in a tense, gut-wrenching tiebreak. Boisson edged it 8-6, her fist raised, her name echoing through the stands. Andreeva, expressionless, walked back to her chair, not beaten, but tested. Then came the second set. Andreeva, shaking off the pain of the lost opener, reset. The teenager from Russia came out swinging, showing maturity far beyond her years. She broke early, then held, then broke again. 3-0. It looked inevitable. But Boisson, riding on the crowd's energy, clawed back. Her defense turned fierce. Her shots found the corners. Her belief surged. Andreeva had to adapt. She changed pace. She started using the drop shot more. She mixed in heavy topspin. She stopped trying to overpower, and started outsmarting. At 4-2, the crowd began to hush. At 5-3, Andreeva served with authority. A clean service game, capped by an ace, brought her to the verge. The match, once balanced, was tilting again. But nothing came easy. Boisson fought. She held her serve under immense pressure. Then pushed the next game to deuce. Andreeva, though, was done playing gently. She unleashed a cross-court forehand that ripped through the clay and the noise. Match point. On the final rally, she moved Boisson side to side. One last shot, a deep backhand that clipped the baseline. The umpire's hand went up. Game, set, match. Mirra Andreeva didn't yell. She didn't drop to the floor. She walked calmly to the net, met Boisson with a respectful handshake, and turned to acknowledge the crowd that had tried everything to break her focus. In that moment, the silence from the stands was louder than any applause. Because she didn't just beat Boisson. She beat the noise. She beat the pressure. She beat the story that the crowd wanted to write. At just 17, she stood in the middle of one of tennis' most iconic arenas and proved she belonged. Not just as a prospect. Not just as a teen sensation. But as a contender. The road to the semifinal didn't come with applause or an easy route. It came with grit, with resilience, with the ability to absorb chaos and still execute. That's what champions do. Andreeva had entered the court with just one opponent listed on paper. She left it having beaten two.